Hey, welcome back. We're going to try that France strategy and do a bit more of a tighter city circle. We're going to try maybe something like two things apart where we can put archers on each city and they can protect each other. So we'll try this. This is a decent map for it. There's no stone, which is probably the biggest problem. So we might have to hard buy a library here. Just think fishing and probably hunter-gatherers is probably the way to go, because if I don't hit food in my harbor, I won't be able to actually put the settler out. Okay, now we could draw for mobilize. If we miss it, be a big waste. I don't know. Maybe we just try to do it. Maybe just try to draw. We'll probably draw with science. Yep. Well, that sucks. Well, I mean, sometimes that happens. I think so. We definitely need writing, and we are going to want animal husbandry. Really see any mine spots. I mean, there's the double stone there. You could do pyramids. Killing mining was probably a mistake. I probably should have kept it. Alright, well, I love these firewood draws where you can basically gain a free card. Yeah, I did get rid of mining, so no stone there. That was a mistake. That's fine. It probably just means we're gonna have to hard cast a library. I'm looking at this hut here. I was gonna do a tighter circle, but I think getting free resources will probably get me essentially a free settler, so we'll go ahead and do that. We'll have a really strong second turn now. I could have done the reshuffle off the firewood. I'll set it up next turn. It's always nice to destroy firewood in the first hand and then reshuffle it. Essentially, you get your card back. So I'm thinking we're going to probably hard cast library here. We're going to have to. We'll just try to draw in some gas, and we got some forage. Forage is probably one of the most overpowered early game cards. It actually stays pretty good late as well, in terms of just the value that you get out of one hammer. Alright, so that's what I was looking for. So now we can basically mobilize out our last settler here. No horse in order to forage, but this will do. And then do we put it here or down? I think probably down there. Yeah, I think down there. Like with this mountain range behind Paris, we can have a little bit of time before we get attacked. They're going to step into the woods and then they won't be able to see through the desert. So it's going to be a hard time for some kind of rush thing to hit Paris. So putting a city on this little choke point between the lakes is actually going to be really strong defense. And then there's also a hill and a forest on the left side of that southern city. So any attack is going to be just slogging through the terrain. And even the desert's on the other side. It's not a great stone map, but it's a pretty good turtling map. It's going to be very hard to attack us once we get up. And we could probably delay our defense a little bit because we'll have time to see it coming. So we're just sorting the cities out here. Optimizing the end of the turn. It's only 1 gold on that luxury. I'm just looking to see if we can culture pop anything, and I think we just get the gold back. We're gonna want it for a hard cast Diana or something like that. All right, so I think we'll get into the religion tree here. We want to get down to Hagia Sophia fairly quickly. We want to obviously get the Diana down, Temple of Diana down, before someone builds it and takes it from us. I'm just thinking if I want to Royal Guard the Archer. Okay, so we'll set up for that maybe next turn, hoping for some science on the market. We weren't able to get much stone. I mean, there's one there. It's just we need two, and so I had to hard cast Diana. That's fine. Probably suboptimal play. I should have had maybe pyramids down to steal all that stone at the top, but I killed the mining early. It's nice that we got some close neighbors that we can push their culture a little bit, start being annoying. Okay, so it's always good to throw the harbor up. It's essentially, you know, you're spending hammers to draw cards and thin your deck because you're going to sell the stuff that comes out of it. So grabbing that marble for the Hagia Sophia next turn. Maybe we get lucky, we get one, and then we can forage another one. Or maybe I play the Temple for happiness. I think I'll just destroy it. I think we'll be fine for happiness once we start cycling great work. And then we can always buy off the marketplace. There seems to be a ton of it. So just trying to dig through the deck, hit, you know, key cards that help me cycle further, and the goal is basically getting lots of gold, lots of draws, lots of burning. We got to get this deck back down. We got to make some massive plays to cut really low. I would like to get granaries going because, you know, if you get granary farm, then you get nice big tall cities. If you get Colosseum, they can stay happy, and they don't necessarily need to work the tiles that we're improving. I mean, obviously it kind of makes sense to be working them, but end of the day, we just want to improve the tiles so that we can craftsmanship them. But with so many lumber spaces, we're actually making a lot of hammers in a natural way, so I won't need to do like Colosseum Forge for hammers as much. And smaller cities will mean slightly smaller great works, but probably faster cycling into being able to set up for our deck's purpose. So it kind of sucks to lose Berserker here. It's nice to put Berserker on the archers, but we also do want Royal Guard on the archers, and if people aren't attacking us early, then we're not getting the extra promotion slots that we're going to want. We really want to get Royal Guard on the archers. I mean, in a real game, around turn 7 is when you're going to be looking at having to defend against a swordsman, possibly even around now a knight. You probably have about a turn until you have musketmen, maybe a turn or two. So I'm thinking just hard cast the Sophia. We're not getting any marble. And we need to get this going. We need to lock down our tiles. Even though we're making a lot of culture, I did try this build without going religion and just going with Temple of Diana and a craftsman cycle. And it essentially, like, I still pushed people with the culture, but because they can push back and because we're pushing from so far away, it kind of ends up with this equilibrium where you get around 4 or 5 spots from your cities, and then you kind of trade back and forth each turn. It's not as insanely oppressive as with the Hagia Sophia. You really do need it. So I think we'll just get into... I think we'll get into education now, and we'll get the craftsmanship, and we'll get going here. Turn 7 is pretty good to get a nice craftsmanship off. Our deck's fairly small. So 16 culture for 2 hammers. That's a pretty nice start, and another 8. So we're gonna push some massive culture here already on turn 7. It's always a balance between spending your hammers on improving tiles and getting bigger craftsmanships, or starting the craftsmanship cycle earlier. And then obviously you've got to find ways to defend. So getting an archer on this spot, we haven't been pressured from down there, but it's possible that someone's down south. I think behind us is the corner of the map, like bottom left. So I don't think there's anyone gonna come from there if they haven't come already. So I do think that our only worry now is that one choke point at the south, and then keeping the north safe. And we're like, this is pretty well defended in terms of terrain and, you know, strategic setup. So let's check out the culture bomb here. So that's not bad. It's already starting to push him a decent bit. So just Brandon Circus is such a good card. If you build tall, we haven't been building as tall. We do have that one town that we could put it on, but I did want to kind of pretend like I could be using this against people, and I wanted to get a bit of a stronger defense up. We're going to really focus this turn on trying to thin the deck as much as possible. Now Monument, if you can get access to a lot of marble, Monument spam can be really good at filling up improvement slots, plus pushing out a lot of culture and keeping happy. So definitely, you know, there's kind of a couple different pillars to way that this build can work. You know, it's the heavy stone build that can let you tech up really fast with libraries and then getting really cheap wonders out. The marble can let you stay happy with temples, especially if you have a holy site, and can also be really good for the monuments for fast improvements. And then also, you know, a free, well not free, but a discounted Hagia Sophia. So stone and marble you're really looking for at the beginning, especially if you can get an early pyramids down and start bringing it in bulk. This setup, we didn't have any of that really. I mean, we kind of did with the stone up top. The only thing is opening up mining is just like another tree. It's more bloat to the deck. Ideally, you can grab some stone off harbors or something like that. Stone and marble. So, you know, a water-heavy setup like this one, I was kind of hoping for getting some stone and marble off the harbors, but yeah, it just didn't really work out. There's some, but there's never enough. So I just continue thinning here. Feels so weird to burn University because it's such a good card, but because I get it last, I actually get it when I don't need the science anymore. Usually I'll, in multiplayer games especially, like a rush for University can be really strong because it's just so powerful. So here, because the cities are kind of short, like I kind of went short and wide instead of thin and tall. I don't really need the Colosseum. So I think I might just grab this and trash it. I'm just trying to be somewhat efficient with the hammers for the end of the turn. When you're getting low on gold, you don't really want to draw a lot because you could just draw cards that you can't use and then you wasted all that money that you could have spent on picking up some luxuries. So we're thinking of just pulling the archer back here because if someone charges in, then I can cover. I can basically roll guard and shoot down whatever would take the city over. So I mean, one thing that's nice when you push your borders out is that people are usually a little bit wary of coming into land that they can't see. So you have a long time to actually see them before they come in. You can kind of spot the charge attacks a little earlier. I think we're going to reshuffle this. We're going to look for, I think, maybe more defense. Even just getting, you know, getting the key cards shuffled back in. Okay, so now we can start pushing some of this. So we're at 10 on Paris, which is nice. No marble. It'd be nice to have some marble to get some of these monuments cycled through, especially now that we're small. If we had 3 marble in the auction house, we could basically draw a full hand and then just monument, draw, monument, draw, monument, draw, which could be really nice. Lumber mills are pretty good because they're fairly resource neutral. I mean, even if you don't work the tile, it's not bad. You get it's basically 1 hammer to improve a tile. I think I don't really need forge. So it feels weird to scrap forge, but it's kind of why I usually keep and go that deep in the construction tree. But I kind of just don't need it here. I'm already at 14 hammers. I need around 24 to fully cycle great work and craftsmanship 4 times in a turn, and 12 gold. So that's kind of my target here. And you can see I'm going to have 17 next turn, plus I'm going to be scrapping some cards. So just trying to improve tiles where I can, where it makes sense. So these are already some big hits. I think we'll maybe just put a farm down, call it a turn. That's good enough. Yeah, I really don't think we can get attacked from behind, so I'm gonna just push some forces up. I'm pretty sure behind us is empty. We actually had a chance to spawn, where Paris is now. We pushed it up to the top right quite a bit. We actually had a chance to spawn almost at the bottom left corner of our map, so I'm pretty sure that was my quadrant. I wanted to push up more in the middle so I could push culture on people more. So I can't see this guy, which is kind of unfortunate, but I think we're big enough to just push up in here with the defensive bonus. I should have noticed that before, and I should have had these guys stationed there. It's really almost impossible to charge into that city anyways, or with the terrain all around it. Yeah, I think we'll do this. I mean, it's a 1 hammer improvement. It only impacts the 1 city in terms of craftsmanship, but 1 hammer is fine. I don't want to spend too much more on this turn because I do want to get the cycle going. We can get a full cycle here. Just build cities up in population so that the great work is bigger. And then we'll start pumping culture, so 26. So like now the marble's showing up. Alright, well, so we'll just keep pushing this culture out. 24. Man. And I really like that you got Royal Guard in this cycle as well. Such a good turtle card, and like what we're doing is turtling. It kind of just works out really well. You know, if you're getting stuck in a ton of pressure, you don't have to culture bomb right now. You could basically cycle through Royal Guards and Archers. So if you look at our mitt of 10 cards, it's kind of set up to be flexible in terms of what you would need to deal with. So if you were pressured more, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. I'd be spamming catapults and archers everywhere with Royal Guard and putting up impenetrable wall. But it's another reason also that you might want to keep Forge, because if you're going to need the Forge to pump out 2 units in a city a turn, that's always good as well. So you just need to know which cities you need to Forge, where you're being pressured from. So, I mean, we're really making England have a terrible time. Like, nice cities, bro. Like, just look at these cities. Imagine you build a nice tall, you know, 5 population city, and then you're left with 1 tile to work on, and everyone just starves to death. It's actually kind of funny to watch cities slowly get smaller. Picked off a holy site up there. It's always nice to get random wonders and holy sites. So this one was a little slow because people were a little further away. I probably could have done the stone, but in terms of security, it felt pretty good. I think the map wasn't ideal for this, but it was still fun. I think a tighter circle is better. 4 cities, I think I like 3 cities better, because I think you just get into the cycle quicker. You know, that one's a 9 culture. It's still a 27 culture great work though. So just going through the cycle. I really like making these kind of decks where, you know, the last 2 turns of the game, you're just spamming out the same card. It's fun to design different ones. Because the game's ending now, we can basically go right down and kill everything else. We'll just do this quick. Just grab some luxuries to try to pop a city. You know what? Maybe I'll just stack and push this all in one city, just to speed it up. This is the fun part. Now, what would be nice is if you hit more marble in the mid game, so you could get a couple monuments down. I kind of needed to get into the craftsmanship. As soon as you go craftsmanship, you lose the monument. You can see which tiles the units like to stand on. They're like the only ones that the culture hasn't pushed into. Oh my gosh, these cities. Like, look at that one city. It's just an island. And no one south of me. It would, you know, it was a lot of room down there. It would have been really nice to push into someone else. Have to defend on the south border. But that's pretty fun. So, final map. Look at these cities. This is only city left. Yeah, nice cities. Nice cities. Nice York. York is looking really good up there. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. See you on the next one.